Hi there. So, in a motivational video, I came across a very plausible statement. It said, as long as something remains undefined, the system gains flexibility, which I gather to a point, and rather agree with flexibility as motion. But I think it keeps people on their toes. But I ask, how are there patterns and flexibility, which is alluded to? Obviously, I want to know what these patterns are and how they are determined. Just by repetition? Or is there some specific omnipotent categorization that suits division in an assumed collective of patterns? It'd be interesting to know. I just love a structured way of thinking that indicates information can be operational or consequential to mean it must be acted on immediately, which I'll talk about in a moment. But first, what about the creation of internal contradiction, which is expressed in a systematic sense, saying that your body organizes around an incorporated contradiction automatically. But it comes across as speaking computationally without observation from the natural world. I don't mean our human nature, but I mean in a current reflection with our eyes. I will now talk on recognition and acceptance because I believe they deserve an emphasis. They are obviously at two different ends of a spectrum, but a person can recognize something and accept it at the same time as different notifications. When you first interact with something, you either recognize it or you don't. Full stop. Then, as you fulfill your intentions, so we're at the end of causation, you tell yourself, how do I accept it? Or you don't. Because now you've had experience with it. It seems that it happens sequentially, not at the same moment. And we'll move on. It's possible ambiguity acts like a buffer zone, as mentioned, which I quite liked. But I'm going to philosophically spend some time on ambiguity because that is what philosophers do. Ambiguity now is, in fact, recognition and acceptance as one, side by side. But the difference is you aren't thinking ahead to define something. It doesn't matter what is needed. You're moving along with progression, knowing or realizing that you cannot recognize it without a contradiction. That's what ambiguity holds. Personally, I prefer ambiguity for everything and appreciate it when a person trusts in the circumstances as having a natural adaptation to the environment at different or subjective times. So we shall return to defining ambiguity because I don't think we're quite there yet. We should all live in a world of ambivalent certainty, except for surgeons, judges, and auto mechanics. Can you think of any other careers that needs to be exact? You can add in the comments. That is why so many arguments exist in the world today, because there are just so many perspectives. And most people, they run a subjective life. Even in your thinking of someone else, it is someone who's involved in your own world, so to say. I am going to end my talk right now. I returning to the title Strength in Motion. And we looked at flexibility, which is emotion, and ambiguity, which is an oscillation, so that's like technically emotion. Let's finish by looking at how these better inspire our strength. So, what kind of strength? The internal kind, naturally. The ways we use to create this type of strength is found in our experiences. Not that a person has to live through terrible moments to be aware of the emotions. That would be when someone authentically knows. But a person may somewhat achieve recognition from learning about other people's plights and the various circumstances that compelled stressful arrangements. So, what does having strength allow us to do? With our fierce efforts, strength will allow us to move forward. Whatever massive havoc we endure or undisclosed negative scars we have, strength is a profound courage to reach our personal self. I agree with promoting individuality because being truthful should lead to helping society. Since when more people feel comfortable with expressing their minds, that's how changes occur. Not from being secretive about your feelings, but by being honest. Some people joke around. They say life is a game, and they may be correct. But we all have the same board, and the rules are right there on the box or the screen. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day.